Hey everybody, welcome to this video. This is my Bug micro camper and I'm going to show you my power system, my absolute favorite power station that I'm going to be using in this Bug. So let's get right into it. I want to bust this box open and get a little bit of charge from the sun because it's a nice bright sunny day right now. Up here on the top of the Bug, I have two boxes of great solar goodness. That's right, I got two boxes fresh from Ecoflow. This is the new power station that's going into the Baja Bug, and this is going to be my sole source of power for the micro camper inside. As you can see, I got a bed platform in here that goes from the passenger side all the way to the back, and right over here is where my power station is going to live. I have a solar panel on the roof, and the solar panel is going to be feeding power into the power station. This is a 250 watt panel, probably the biggest panel that you'll ever see on a car that's this small. So here we go. This is the first of the two boxes. This is pretty much the brains of the operation. I'm going to cut it open, show you what comes in the box from my favorite solar power company, Ecoflow. All right, so first thing in the box, user manual. Pretty simple. And there we got the Ecoflow. This is the Delta 2. This is the newest medium-sized power station that they have. This is the Ecoflow Delta 2. This is a super powerful power station. It is my favorite of any power station that's this size, and this is probably about my favorite size power station to use as well. Also in the box is this box of component cables and charging cables, all that kind of thing. Everything you need is right here in this box, and Ecoflow does a good job of providing all the cables that you need to charge your unit in all the different ways. So let's see what they provide here. All right. So first thing they got, a car charging cable with a XT90, I believe is what it's called, XT90 connector. This is the DC solar panel input connector that Ecoflow uses in their solar power stations. Then what we have, this is kind of nice. They include a 12 volt barrel connector plug. This is for a DC output. If you want to wire a DC panel to your power station or something permanent like LED lights or whatever, you can use this plug. Most companies don't provide that, which is nice to have. And then here we have the AC power cable. The AC power cable comes with, this is all you need to charge the Ecoflow Delta. All you got to do is plug this in, and there's no block or anything like that. Every component of the charger is located inside of the power station, so that's really nice. And this thing charges fast, man. It's like super fast. So we're gonna go ahead and power it on, see what kind of charge it already has on it, and fire it up for the first time. There we go. We're sitting at 29% charge, and it has a really great display. You're probably not going to be able to see it in the sun, but the display is awesome. But the best thing that I like about this Ecoflow is their app and the Bluetooth connectivity. They have their own Ecoflow Delta app. You can pair with this power station and see everything that's going in, everything that's going out, change all the parameters on the setting, even the screen timeout. If you want the screen to stay on all the time when the power station's on, you can set that up in the settings, and you can change it to turning off in a half an hour or going off pretty much instantly. You can change your charging speed. Say you want to charge at full capacity. I think this thing goes up to 1200 watts of charging when you plug into AC power. But say you only have a 500 watt inverter, you can turn the charging speed down to 500 watts so that you can charge on a smaller inverter and, you know, set it to whatever size system you have. So that is a really great thing that you can do with this power station. It is awesome. It even has internet setup, Wi-Fi settings, so that you can operate this through Wi-Fi. I just connected it to the Wi-Fi network that's in the bread truck, and boom, there we go. I will show you a screen recording of what I'm looking at on the phone and show you all the features that this app has in it. It is amazing. Okay, so here we go. You can go into the output. You can switch on the AC. Oh, I must have the beep turned off. You can turn on the AC panel, the DC cigarette lighter output. You can turn on the USB output. You can turn everything on individually right here in this app, which is really awesome. See, there it goes. It just turned everything on. Turn on the USBs. Everything is on now. You can see the input if you're charging via AC or DC solar power. It'll show you everything you need to see right here on this app. It is awesome. Let me show you these settings real quick. This is my favorite part. So here in the settings, you can turn off the beep, which I like the beep because I use it in the car and I can operate it from outside so I can hear whether it's doing things that I ask it to do. Charging speed all the way up is 1200 watts AC, which is crazy, but you can turn this all the way down. Say you have a 500 watt inverter. You can turn this right down to 500 watts so that it's perfect for the system that you have to charge this. So that is incredible. I love that because I've definitely had things where it wouldn't charge at 1200 watts. So the car input, you can actually change that as well. Some car cigarette outputs will blow a fuse if you try to charge at 8 amps. So you can turn it down to 6 amp or 4 amp. Then there's also a smart generator coming out from Ecoflow that will connect with this unit, turn on and start itself automatically, where you can charge this with gasoline or propane and charge it up. You could set this to be whatever you want. If you want it to start charging at, let's see, 20%, you could set it at that, and you can make it only charge up to 80% if you want. If you know, like, the sun's coming out later and you don't need to use that much gasoline, shoot, you can charge it up to 50% if you want. You could charge it just a little bit, but I'm gonna turn that all the way back up because I want it that way. And then the timeout, the screen timeout. See, I don't like my unit to ever turn off, so I put it on never, because I don't want this unit to ever turn off on its own unless it's out of power. So you may want this to turn off automatically after an hour if you're using, say, a refrigerator and you don't want to run this all the way down. Screen timeout, I like it to be on a nice long time, but I do like it to go off eventually, so I put it on 30 minutes. The AC timeout, this is for your AC output. You can change it to whatever you'd like, and your DC output, you can change it to whatever you'd like. Then there's also ways to update the firmware, which I'm going to go ahead and check. I do have a new version of the firmware that's available, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade it right now. This system is awesome. You can do everything you want right here on this app, and no other power station that I've used has this much capability included in it and available through this app. It's awesome. It's so cool. So I'm going to go ahead and let the firmware upgrade and get that going, and then I'll show you what it's going to be like when I put it into the Baja Bug. And I also got to open this other box up here because there's even more power from Ecoflow inside of that box. All right, I'm going to take down this other box. This is the extra battery. This is a smart battery that pairs with the Ecoflow Delta 2, and it doubles the storage capacity of power with this power station. And I have already opened this box and I've taken a peek inside, but it's very simple. This box also has a user manual, styrofoam, and that's it. There's really not much to this. This is just a battery. This plugs into the Ecoflow Delta 2 via this port right here. There's a compartment on the top that you plug in the expansion cable, and this doubles the power of the Ecoflow Delta 2. So it goes from 1024 watt hours to 2048 watt hours, I believe is the numbers on this unit. It's really freaking powerful. So there's really not much to say about this, but once I get it all hooked up and connected, I'll show you how everything works inside the Bug. All right, so I'm gonna take this Ecoflow Delta 2 inside the Bug, and I'm gonna be setting it up right over here. this is where it's pretty much gonna live, is over here. So right up here, coming from the solar panel on the roof rack, I have my charge cables. So I will be tying these down and mounting them a little bit more permanently, but for now we'll just hook it up really quickly. This is the solar panel input, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this in right now. Boom, there we go. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put the battery in first, because I want to be able to reach easily the USB outlets and the AC outlet. Okay, this is the cable that comes with the expandable battery. Big heavy cable, because there's going to be a lot of power going between these two units. All you got to do, plug that in. On the Delta, you open up the extra battery port and you plug the other end in right into that. All right, so now on the display, there's a little bit of like strobing effect or whatever. It doesn't look like that in real life. It's just from the frame rate of the camera. But as you can see, I am outputting 105 watts and I'm bringing in 180 watts. So down here on the battery, this is the display for the battery. You can see that I have 85 watts going into it. So it looks like both systems are charging right now. It looks like I have some of the power going into the battery down here, some of the power going in up here, but I'm just gonna let it sit here and charge for a good long time for the rest of the day and see how much it actually charges up for the rest of the day. Another thing I'm gonna do with this system is I'm gonna move them around a little bit and just see what configuration works best in this rig. I might turn this battery around so that the plug is sticking out the other side and stick them side by side so that they fit a little bit better. I'm gonna have to see how I can fit these in the best in this tiny little micro camper. As you can see, I'm in the back right now. I'm laying in the bed, and yeah, this little micro adventure rig is awesome. I'm loving it. So now that I got it plugged into the solar panels and it's charging, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the Ecoflow app here and just kind of see what more information I can see on this app. Looks like I got 182 watts coming in from the solar panels. I'm putting out 71 watts. And I believe, yeah, the 71 watts, the output is actually coming from through this big connection cable, the pairing cable to the smart battery. So it's bringing in 179 watts. About half of that is going into the Ecoflow Delta 2 itself, and the other half is going into the expandable battery. So we got a lot of power coming in. This is awesome. Down here under the bed platform is a little trick that I've discovered. I have a 10 amp battery charger. This is just a regular battery charger that you could get at a parts store like O'Reilly's or Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone. But I have this hooked up to my battery. My battery is right here, and I have the alligator clips on the battery, and I just leave this on there all the time. And it keeps my battery topped off. I have it plugged into the Ecoflow right now, and that's the AC port right there. So I can easily run all my lights as much as I want. I can, you know, get myself out of trouble and charge this car. If I'm stuck, you know, with a dead battery or whatever, I can just charge it right up anywhere I want, anywhere on the road or whatever. Here's the solar panel. It's a little dusty. I gotta dust it off a little bit. I'll get a little bit more sunlight coming in. But 250 watt panel on the roof. That thing is awesome. It's huge, lots of power, and it is enough to charge the Ecoflow Delta twice a day, pretty much. So with the expandable battery in the car, I think I will be able to have it all charged every day as long as I have sun. And then with the expandable battery, I'll have enough power to last for a couple days without having to charge it. It's awesome. As you might be able to tell, I do love electronics, and I have a lot of electronics in this little Baja Bug. This is a backup camera so that I can get out of tight situations, you know, say if I'm on a mountaintop or something like that, I can set this wireless camera out and see if I'm gonna fall off the back of a cliff or whatever. I can set this camera out and see anything I want anywhere around me, which is really awesome. I got the aux beam LED switch panel right here, which controls my headlights, my whips, my underglow lights, everything like that, and the RGB light bar. So with all of this electronics and the Ecoflow and the battery charger, I can keep my battery charged and not have to worry about being able to start this car up, because it'll always start with all of this power I have inside with the solar panel on the roof. So that's pretty much all I have for the day from the Honda Bug and the bread truck and the bread trucker. Thank you to Ecoflow for sending me out this awesome power station, my favorite of all the power stations, the Ecoflow Delta 2. It is freaking incredible. We are going to let this charge up, and we'll get back with you a little bit later to show you a little bit more of how the Ecoflow Delta 2 works. All right, so now it is the following day. It has been overcast all day long, and you know, not much sun. It's been cloudy and the skies are just pretty gray. Here, I'll give you a look at like what the skies look like around here right now. It's been like this all day long, very cloudy, very overcast. No rain or anything like that, but the skies have not been clear. And this system is charged up to 86%, which is fantastic. I'll throw up the screen recording of my app that I'm using for the Ecoflow Delta right here, and you can see what is going on with the system. I'm bringing in 58 watts right now, and both batteries are almost full. The one that's an extra battery and the Ecoflow Delta 2 are both nearly full. They're 86%. So I am super, super happy with that. That is awesome. But the real reason I wanted to make the next day video about how much it's charged is I discovered a feature on this app that no other power station can do right now. That is Inverter Automation. So here we go. I'm going to pull up the Inverter Automation. You go into lab features on the phone and go into automation. You can make it so that you can change the settings so that, say you have a refrigerator that's running and your power station loses power at 3 a.m. in the morning and turns off. Well, when the sun comes out the following morning, the power station will come back to life, but the AC output won't turn back on. Almost every power station that I know of, this is the only one that I know of, you can set it up so that your AC output will turn back on automatically once it gets up to charge. So you can go into these settings and then choose how much, you know, how you want to set this up so that all of your outputs will come back on automatically. You can do the AC charge discharging, the 12-volt discharging. Automation in this power station is the first of its kind that I know of. So I'm happy to tell you guys the news about this new firmware update on the Ecoflow Delta 2. I talked to Will Prouse about this last night, and he immediately went home to test his Ecoflow Delta Pro. And the Delta Pro doesn't yet have the automation features that the Delta 2 does. So he's really looking forward to that coming out. And he was pretty bummed out that it hadn't come out yet. But there will be a firmware update coming out for the Delta Pro, which is a much bigger system than this, with the inverter automation features. This is a big, huge upgrade. It doesn't seem like much to people who don't know about it, but this is a big deal when it comes to these power station. It makes it a much more functional, usable daily source of power for your home system, for your RV system, or whatever. It's really a pain to have to go in manually and push the button every time your station shuts off due to running out of battery power. So now, every time the sun comes out and your power station charges back up, this will turn back on automatically so your fridge can get back up to temperature. Whatever it is, maybe you have a Wi-Fi network that needs power constantly, or Starlink. As soon as this comes back on, your appliances, all of your add-ons will also come back to life. That is a huge, huge advantage of getting the Ecoflow system. to have the automation features. Once you get using it, you'll understand a little bit more why automation is so important. If you're using these things on a day in, day out, 24/7 basis, automation is really going to make this a much more usable source of power. So thank you to Ecoflow for adding this updated firmware on the Ecoflow Delta 2. I'm super excited about it. It's awesome. And I'm really looking forward to the firmware upgrade for the Delta Pro and other systems like that. In my opinion, they should all have automation. It is a big, big advantage to a usable system. I'm gonna get up out of here. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks Ecoflow for sending me out this Delta 2. It is a really awesome power station that I've been dealing with here, and I am so happy with it. 250 watt panel on the roof with the Ecoflow Delta and the expandable battery. It is a really robust, powerful system. And it can take up to 500 watts. If I was to get two 250 watt panels, it would charge up even faster. So I'm so happy with it. It's awesome. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you. I'm rambling. I'm just so excited about the system. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.